Greetings and welcome to the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say. So call me and tell them like it is. I'm still setting everything up. This has been one heck of a hectic day. Just because I'm so easily distracted. Of course, first you gotta let me know if you can hear me, if everything's going okay. 5x5 according to Pastor Chatelet, my main monitor or mod on the Odysee channel. Hey, it's Big Fat Polly! Welcome to the show. I'm your ninja, the Drunken Rocky, whose show's on right after mine. Cole the Salty Hooker. There's a lot of people waiting for me tonight. I hope you weren't expecting too much. Did I promise you something? I'm not giving anything away now. Except for a lot of knowledge, maybe, perhaps. At least mine, anyway. And of course, Adam, welcome. Welcome to the show. I'm live on Odysee, Rumble, and YouTube. Why did they become so hectic? Oh, I know. I didn't get up at 7 in the morning like I usually do. And just so many things happen, and so many things would come across my feed. It's like, oh, I gotta cover that. Oh, I gotta cover that. Oh, wait, I gotta cover that. No, I gotta. So, sometimes it's hard to know what to talk about. But I'm going to talk about what everybody else talked about, plus a few other things that people aren't talking about, which is usually my mantra. And of course, I'm hoping that y'all out there will do most of the talking. Of course, I'm ldghwih, and thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet today. Deacon Bean Cooter, welcome to the show. Sergeant Tripod, you guys are, Deacon, you're a new face, or at least someone I haven't seen here in a while. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Oh, 451 Actual, my metal man, and he's another moderator. Thank you for being here tonight. Adam, of course, as usual. Sparky the Wilder. Cole the Salty Hooker. All right, another new face in my chat in the Odysee. Thank you for being here, Sparky. Let's see, Sparky. Limited! No screw tube notifications. Is anybody surprised by that? I stay on there as long as they'll let me, just to be a thorn in their sides at this point, I guess you could say. Oh, Mr. Tizo, thank you. Wow, he put this on there about an hour ago. Boost the show with a like on all platforms and share links. Thank you. Yes, indeed. You guys are getting ahead of me again. Drunken Rocky, you need to use your imagination on that one. What's a bean cooter, he asks. In some cases, if you have cats, you could call it a pussyfoot. All right. Welcome to everyone on the show. I hope you guys had a fantastic week. It is once again Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Sorry I was a few minutes late, but hey, shit happens. Deacon Bean Tutor. A turtle. Well, that makes sense. Actually, speaking of calling things by all kinds of different names, I'm even going to go over something like that today. I found something really funny, and I actually enjoy playing with the English language. I find that it's one of the only languages that you actually can play with. And even though I listen to other languages, there's always some kind of English word that's stuck in there. Somehow or some another. Especially if they're dealing with us. So... All right. Of course, my usual plugs. I'll start off with that. Of course, 451 Actual. He's got the Big Dick Energy radio show on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Missed you on Friday, and I've been rushed off my feet lately for some reason. I haven't seen you the last 2 days, but thank you for being here tonight. Pastor Chatelet, Red Dawn Radio, DJ Brandrack, who I see was finally on, you got him on Foxhole again over here on the air thing, but I saw him on Odysee, once again, hip hip hooray for that. The Drunken Rocky, of course, don't forget that show, The White Pill Experience, right after my show. Ray Noth, every day, and Saturdays and Tuesdays with the Roundtable Acts, Truth, DJ Bass, Kevin's Chaotic Coffee. I haven't been up real early lately. I don't know what it is. My sleep schedule's been way off. Has Kevin even been doing a show lately? Let me know how he's doing. I see him every once in a while. America Floats, of course, you just got finished looking at him. 2 Minutes to Midnight, haven't seen him lately. Magical Trevor, Reverend Rant, some guy from Maine who is doing, is he on here? He's not on the live or on air right now thing. But supposedly he's doing EDM music. So you guys can, so according to what I've been told, you can combine his show with my show and they go perfectly together. So yeah, whatever floats your boat, man. And of course, Rugaru, Not BB, and Town with the Pure Blood Television Guide, or, yeah, they say it on her TV guide. Internet Guide, Creator, Pure Blood Internet Creator Guide. How about that? Stuff like that. Podcast Guide, I don't know. TV Guide's good. All right. Right, Pure Blood TV Guide. I see we have a new support here. Support Sergeant Daniel Perry, Legal Defense Fund. He was the guy, I believe, here in Texas. Yeah, it says he's falsely indicted and convicted of murder because at a BLM riot mob, because he was protecting himself. Some stupid head in the protest had an AK-47, was pointing at people. You know, and of course, if you have any training in firearms whatsoever, the mantra is you don't point at something unless you're getting ready to annihilate it. And at that point, it was him or them. So yeah, I can see how that's pretty unfair. And yes, please, he needs all the help he can get, for sure, for sure. He also supported our country. He fought for our country. He volunteered for that, despite the people we have in office right now. And he's going to get in trouble for defending himself after defending our country. Shame, shame, shame. 451 Actual uses his big dick. Yep. Digging them post holes is a big job. Oh, wait. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right. Of course, you guys know how to support the show. Adam starts off with $1. Thank you for the donation there. Adam, thank you. Appreciate that. You get one of these. It says, he's saying hello to Mr. Tizo, Limited Access, Sparky the Welder, Cole the Salty Hooker, Pastor Shadowley, the Drunken Rocky, Polly, Big Fat Polly, Big Fat Polly, 451 Actual, Sergeant Tripod, Deacon Bean Cooter, and fucking Apache. Oh. Another new name in the chat here. Welcome to you, Apache. I appreciate you being here. And of course, share. That's the best way you can support the channel. Help me grow. Help us get the truth out there. Help people help people be inspired to call in and get their voices out there. Even as small as they may seem, they're important. That's the reason for the First Amendment. You know, of course, that's my shtick. My show is for you guys to help you with your First Amendment rights, while I'm also using them myself, of course. All right. Let's see here. Okay. And of course, you can see how you can support me. All of my links are below. I've got PayPal for the diehards, which actually, it's really, once you get on PayPal, it's hard to get out. They're almost like Facebook. They connect to everything. Just about. And then some of these places don't connect to anything else. It's almost like as if PayPal has them exclusively. But I've got a Ko-Fi. You can actually buy me a coffee now, because I can actually, now that I've weaned myself off of my blood pressure pills and I'm using actual natural herbs, spices, and things like that to actually feel better, and it's working. Pharmaceutical grade vitamins and minerals as far as that goes, if you want to do pharmacy stuff. But cayenne pepper seems to be one of the best things I'm finding out for high blood pressure. I actually I felt good after they fixed my heart, but they had me on this medication and it took away my coffee. And the doctor kept telling me I needed to keep drinking coffee. Even though I would tell him, I can't really do much of it anymore because it was making me ill. It was almost like, well, he knew that medication was going to make me ill, but he wanted to be able to give me more medication. Yeah, keep drinking that coffee. It's great for you. And actually, by itself, it is. But with petroleum-based chemicals and pharmaceuticals, it ain't. At least not for me. So, Lizzie! Welcome to the show, Drunken Rocky. Thank you so much for the donation. You get one of these. Hey man, I like the dollar signs. I'm one of those people, if I see a penny on the ground, I'm picking it up. Because I read one day that if you do that throughout your entire life, you actually literally for free make an extra $5,000, up to $7,000, depending on how much you find, depending on how long you live too, in your lifetime. I mean, free money. Nobody turns that down usually, unless they've got enough. What do you need my help with there, Lizzie? Getting off the BP meds, we need to talk. Oh, well, I didn't really follow any kind of ritual or anything like that. I started taking them less and less and less and started finding alternatives. Fresh foods and herbs especially are things that have the minerals and things like that that actually regulate your blood system. I'm actually following quite a few herbalists and naturalists right now. And to be honest with you, you know who's got probably better information about that than me is Limited Access. But I have been seeing some videos about some old-timey remedies, which actually were good before the pharmaceutical companies started bashing them and telling everybody that it was quackery medicine, which, again, I believe that the Lord put this beautiful, gorgeous earth here for us to lavish, and He's given us everything that we absolutely need. I mean, we've not been able... Put it this way, do you know of anybody that's gotten any products or anything from outside of our atmosphere and turned it into any kind of viable whatever substance for us to use, buy, ingest, anything like that? So basically, what I'm doing, like I say, I'm doing a regiment of fresh fruits, fresh ginger teas, lots of cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper, in fact, cayenne pepper supposedly, according to this one study, is odd. Not only is it a blood thinner, but when supposedly when it finds within your blood that you have a leak or a spring a leak or something like that, it actually will close that up as well. It helps to heal and everything like that. Keeps your blood pressure low, and you don't actually have to taste it. I actually have bought pills, but you can actually make your own pills with the cayenne pepper too. Just take it with your vitamins. I always suggest you take these kind of things when you eat a little something, or if you drink a little milk or a little soy milk or a little oat milk or something like that. I wouldn't take them with just water. Especially with the water-soluble caplets. If it doesn't go all the way down, then you got a problem. But if you got that coating with a little bit of, like I say, a little bit of milk, a little bit of soy milk even, something just a little thicker than water. That's just my suggestion. That's just the way I do it. Nothing worse than getting one of those little gelatin pills stuck, and then all of a sudden it bursts open, you breathe out, and that's pretty much what it feels like when you do this. If you've ever done the cinnamon challenge, which I thought was really stupid. You can poison yourself that way. Duh. You have to cook that shit. Anyways, okay. Anyway, you guys know how to support the channel. All my links are below. You can buy me a coffee. You can scan my little Cash App-y thing there. You can buy me a milkshake. And now that I can drink coffee again, this all got started when I was talking about coffee. But you can buy me a milkshake, but I'll probably change that if I can or whatever, or add something to buy me a coffee here on Super Chats on Odysee, and also Super Chats on Rumble. I don't expect too much from YouTube. I love my diehards, and I'm staying on YouTube for the people that actually want to see me on YouTube. But I don't worry about YouTube all that much anymore. In fact, they've gotten to the point now where they won't let you upload something. They check it before you even upload the damn thing now. I had to get a repeal for the last video that I did, and it's because they claimed it was that copyright with the champion UFC fighter that I thought Joe Rogan was gonna lick his face. Anyway, that said something that good about Trump. That's all that is. They don't want anything good about Trump. They're doing their best to get him and keep him out of office, to the point of where they're even silencing him up and everything like that. So anyway, all right. Pepper fixing leaks. That's car radiators kick. Well, actually, the more I find out about the old-timey remedies and things like that, you can actually use cayenne pepper as a poultice for all kinds of things. They even mix some of the remedies. They even mix it with castor oil and put it on like arthritic knees, or if you've got what do they call it? Is thrombo something where you don't feel your feet, or your feet are always cold or something like that. She said at first the pepper will penetrate, you know, it'll feel a little hot or anything like that, but then you'll start getting your warmth back, and it really is a good thing. And like I say, I look for more and more of these natural remedies because, you know, everybody's talking about these shortages of this and shortages of that. Also, too, if the shit hits the fan, there's not going to be a lot of pharmaceuticals for people either. People are going to be coming off of their medications, and it's going to be, you're going to see some monsters. I'm telling you, you're going to see some monsters. That's just all there is to it. Sometimes these, you know, they say, oh, we got a drug problem, but actually, it's not, drugs aren't the problem. A lot of times when people are addicted, the lack of them become the problem. All right. And, of course, I hope you guys will all get me your stingers. I'm still asking for your stingers for my show. I'd like to, if you're a creator and you're listening to this, or if you want to be advertised, I actually get a larger and larger audience every time I play. Coon Dog, how are you? In fact, I'm almost considering just doing live shows, because the videos, I love doing the videos, but they just take up so much time. And I don't even get half of the views on the videos that I do as I do on the live feeds. Not to mention the fact that I read somewhere or did some research and saw something that came across my feed that said that Rumble's actually to make any kind of actual decent cash or be monetized or whatever like that on Rumble, it's basically a live stream situation. That's what actually catches the most cashola, if you will, or whatever, the most support. So I'm thinking about, I'm seriously, you know, I've got a few videos in mind, but 2 of them are going to take me so long, mainly because of all the editing, and my ideas get elaborate sometimes. And then as I'm going, I get 10,000 more ideas, and I try to add those too. That's what takes me so long. Neuropathy, that's right. That's what it is. Neuropathy. Kmart sucks. Yeah, it even sucked before they closed it. I like our Odysee community too. Yes, I like the internet community. You know, you learn lots of things, even if it's what not to say and do sometimes. Hey, you can't be perfect all the time, and you got to have some kind of forgiveness as far as all that stuff goes, or else, well, you just limit yourself too much, in my opinion. Sai, how are you? Was on YouTube, but switched over here. Hope you're doing great. I am. I'm doing fantastic. I really am. I really am. All right. So, if there's anything throughout the show now, I'm going to open the phone lines. You guys can call me and talk about anything you really want to talk about, except porn, stuff like that. I don't really want to know any of that stuff. We're talking politics. We're talking culture. We're even talking remedies, you know, anything like that. And of course, I've got the show covered for the most part, I hope. But I'm here for you. You guys are supposed to call me and tell me like it is. I already know what I see. I want to know what you see. What you see? The phone lines are open. Well, let's see. Lizzie says, if I did more shows each week, it would be able to watch it on the Rumble lineup. Yeah, I'm thinking seriously about it. I don't usually go by any kind of a schedule. That's sometimes why I'm a little bit late. I'm not a scheduled type of person. And of course, being in show business, the only thing that's really scheduled is the ending show. You are responsible for your time management in between the booking and the time you have to do the show. And even, I was going to say, and if you've been to a concert, even that's not always on schedule or exact schedule. All right. I'm already getting a phone call. I haven't even started with any of the topics yet, but you're on the air. Welcome.
Hi, it's Hallie. Hi.
Hallie!
Yes.
Welcome.
Hi, yeah. Hi, yeah. Again, I'm at work, so, just have to be a little brief. I just wanted to know what you thought about Tucker Carlson, getting fired from Fox. I mean, I heard their ratings now are in the sewer, but I mean, I don't know what your opinion of Tucker Carlson was.
Well, in some aspects, we'll put it this way: up until just recently, in my opinion, he was controlled opposition. Fox News is if you notice, is one of the only mainstream, right leaning, which aren't even all the way right leaning. They've always had left leaning people on there too. In fact, if you remember, Shepard Smith was on there, and he left to go to MSNBC, and
Well, they're trying to be balanced, I say, in fairness, but sometimes, I try to hear the other side, and I get so damn irritated. It's distorted. I don't know. At this point, you please all, you please none, I guess. Which means it helps me segue into the next. Are you drinking Bud Light?
No, I don't drink, actually.
Please, no. Yeah. I don't even. I'm not a big beer drinker anyway. It was never. Even regardless, I think they were between a rock and a hard place. We're trying to revive a kind of a dying brand, but that then they insulted the bait.
Well, that's the funniest thing. They weren't a dying brand. That's the whole crux of this thing. They weren't a dying brand. If they were, they wouldn't have had this much. They wouldn't be dying now. They wouldn't be dying like they are now. This wasn't a dying brand. This girl got in there and decided she was going to be a hero to that segment, and it backfired.
You mean the CEO, whatever, the creative director, whatever she was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw. I'm going to go on a roll on this. So I grew up around people like her. She reminds me of a certain breed of this young liberal. They're like smart, stupid. She probably would sit in a coffee shop very easily. They know how to walk the walk, talk the talk. But then you wonder, my God, how could she have been that naive? I'm not a businesswoman, but I would know, not, or a creative director or whatever her title was, but I would know not to. This was beyond just ignorance of her base. It was a total contempt. And
yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. It's like I say, she went in there deciding she was going to be an activist and not, because she calls herself a business person. Yeah. Anytime you have to describe yourself in such a way, you're not.
Oh, and I know she's a businesswoman. I'm the next Queen of England.
There you go.
Yeah. No, it's just a very unrealistic view of herself. But unfortunately, I've seen that among a lot. I don't want to say it's the younger generation. Maybe they exist in every. But I am seeing a prevalence of this. I mean, these kids, especially white kids, they're overeducated or something. They think they know it all. I mean, it's snotty. I mean, even Meghan Markle comes to mind a little bit. Although I'd say she at least did something on her own. But yeah, it's just they have this unrealistic view of themselves and the world. I could call it narcissism, but this is beyond. It's like just plain stupidity. You wonder, she's like one of these intellectual, what we call intellectual boobs. She may have these lofty ideas, but my God, I mean, even I couldn't do something that's stupid to just try to insult and put this freak on the beer can, and on top of that, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think he's more of a female impersonator than an actual transgender. That's just my own opinion.
Yeah, but I get the feeling that it's something more to do with the humanity part of it. Every human, and I'm sure that you feel this. I know I feel this. I know everybody that I know has felt this. Needs a purpose.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
These folks it's been so good for them, and they've never had to want or need for anything, that they have no purpose, and this is what they're looking for.
I know, they're so lost.
And because of the fact that they have no purpose, they'll grab at any purpose or anything that they think, because they don't know any better. They've had
They
it
don't know
that
any
good and that
better.
easy for that long.
Yeah. It really, and I don't know if there's any religion. I don't know. It's just, but to really follow a religion, you have to have some kind of humility. And I
Right.
brought my pen here. They're so damn arrogant. So I mean, it's like they seem to. It's not just that they know it all, but they just lack respect for anybody, any authority.
Including themselves.
Including themselves. Yeah. Unfortunately, they're the ones that I think are propping up Biden. I don't know what his chances are for re-election. I think the Democrats are desperate. They don't know anybody. They don't really have anybody else. At least Biden comes across as mainstream, at least as a demeanor. But I just wonder, these are the people that are propping him up. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, again, this is another cause that they've been told is a good cause, their purpose. So, and they've been lied to about it. We all know that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
the weirdest part about it is that a lot of them have seen that no matter what they've done, no matter how much they've supported him, he's let them down on several occasions, especially the college kids and all that, promising them the forgiveness and all of that, and he's let them down. My biggest problem is they're still on his side, even as much as he's even let them down and lied to them, and they've known it.
I know that I hate anyone Republican, anything that's, I think, many dad issues. This is neurotic women and foppish men that are kind of the other side. I don't know. It's just, they've got a mental block, a real resistance. I don't know how to get through. I mean, I work in a more right-wing place, but we have the unfortunate element here. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to reach out. Hope that maybe on their own, it's like I had to learn things on my own, often the hard way. Yeah. Anyway, I got to get back to work here, and so it's nice hearing you.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay, my pleasure. Okay, good night.
All right, you have a great night. Good night.
Bye.
All right, my regular caller, Hallie. Shout out to Hallie. Cy says he really liked the fake and phony video I uploaded the other day. Oh, yeah. I had to use that purple clown in my video somehow or another. And it just another example of people doing stuff that they would never do normally for clicks and attention. It trips me out, but it makes me sad for humanity as well. So, but I try to make a point while also being funny at the same time. I'll never be a shoe on head. I mean, that chick makes me roll. I don't know what it is about her. I don't know if it's the facial expressions. I don't know if it's the sarcasm. I'm not sure sometimes if she's being serious or not. Maybe that's the point. She definitely has got it going on. If you haven't checked out Shoe on Head, she's pretty cool. I like her. She claims to be a what do they call it? Progressive. But she makes so much damn sense about things, and she points out some of the same things that I would point out going, yeah, that really doesn't make any sense. And how creepy is some of this stuff? So yeah, I like her, but she got a way of just pulling it out and punching things. It makes me laugh. Even the people that hate her laugh. She did a rebuttal or a reaction to somebody that gave her a reaction or something like that, was calling her all kinds of names. He was kind of like the misogynistic type, like that guy that keeps getting arrested over there in Bulgaria or whatever it is. And even when he was doing a critique on her, he was like, oh, damn it, she made me laugh. Damn it, she's funny. Damn it. So even her haters laugh at her. She is hilarious. Mom just asked if I'm on every day. Oh, yeah. No, sorry. Only Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central at the moment. And of course, I wouldn't want to walk on anyone else's stream or anything like that either. Although I have been contemplating either doing a Wednesday afternoon or a Monday afternoon. No, not Monday. Probably Wednesday would be the only time I'd be available right now. But no, I'd love to be able to, I'd love to be able to be on every day and be able to do this for a living. I would definitely give up my other job in a heartbeat, but that one makes too much money. I can't do that. Neurotic women with foppish men. There's a video topic in there somewhere. Yeah. Shu is hilarious. Definitely a progressive lefty, but she tells facts. Well, that's what I'm saying. And when you actually talk to some of those people, they actually have, for the most part, come to the same conclusions that you know, we got more in common than we don't with some of these folks. And that's why I like Shu. You know, she's a leftist, and there's different things that, you know, different things that I disagree with her, but they're so minuscule. And there's no, and if we were that far apart in thinking, logic, whatever like that, there's no fucking way she'd make me laugh. None. I mean, because you know how you look at people, you get like this. You look down your nose at them and all of that and everything. There's, like I say, if we were that alike, there's no way she'd make me laugh like she does. None. 24-hour stream. Do you know how much planning that would take? I would really need to have some kind of an income to be able to sit here and do that all day, especially since I live in mini Lebanon back here. How many times has my stream been interrupted because the electricity went out? So, yeah. Plus, also too, I need a better computer for that. I'm pushing it I'm pushing it just at max level. If I put one more thing on my OBS right now, you'll start seeing the screen going zzz, zzz. It'll be like an old TV with weird reception. So yeah, I gotta get I'm saving up every little dime that gets put into this goes right back into this. I'm saving up for a new computer now so that I can add pill.net and maybe possibly do a 24-hour stream of some kind. I actually have a few ideas behind that in mind, including Christian themed shows and stuff. So we'll go more into that. Like I say, these are just some ideas that have come to my head. I don't want to promise anybody or get anybody's hopes up for anything because I can never promise anything. All right, I'm going to start. We got our first phone call already, and I actually am going to cover Tucker Carlson, but not right away. First thing I wanted to cover was that we lost a major shit stirrer today. Good old Jerry Springer, 79 years old, died today. Now, did you know he was British? I had no idea. He didn't have the... I guess if you didn't look into him that much or anything, but I had to do a few... I wanted to check out some of the things. If he had actually done anything more than just shit stir on his show where people would start fighting and stuff like that. Many of his older relatives actually died in the Holocaust. And he went to Tulane University in New Orleans. Blew my mind. He was in politics before he did his TV shows. How apropos, huh? He was none other than the campaign advisor to Robert F. Kennedy before he was assassinated. Excuse me. And he even tried to run for Congress, but he didn't get in. He was forced to resign from his actual city council position due to being busted, or he actually he confessed to soliciting a prostitute. Oh my God, that was so bad back then. Because this was like 1974, 1975. That's how old he was. So boy, the times have changed, although I'm surprised they held him to such high standards. He was a Democrat, after all. So R.I.P. Mr. Shitstirrer. Alright, the dregs that wanted airtime and pseudo-fame will miss you dearly. Hey, maybe his bodyguard Steve Wilkos will take over the show. Oh, wait. Alright. Oh, that was the one I wanted to find. I was in the middle. I was still trying to find PJW videos. I was still trying to find videos. I thought I had saved this because due to climate change, there's a place in England now that's changing one of their parks name from something that it's been since its inception, like 400 years ago or whatever it is, to some name that it's really, really hard to pronounce. And it was hilarious to watch him do it. I thought I saved it. And of course, I know you guys like Paul Joseph Watson. He's funny as shit too. I noticed though that since he's not with Alex Jones anymore, he doesn't cuss as much anymore. He used to use the F word quite a bit. Oh well. Anyways, like I say, in England, one of the smallest islands on the freaking planet that actually makes up less than 1% of the global warming, whatever, blah blah blah, is still screaming and yelling about that they're the worst and that everybody has to change and they're making the 15-minute cities and everything like that. I'm sorry I didn't have that video for you. I couldn't even find it where I saved it. 'Cause I'm a blonde. Yeah. Actually, I'm a silver now. All right. Steven Crowder is trending again for several reasons. Now, you guys, if you followed me the last time he did this, Lizzie, thank you so much for the donation. You get one of these. Thank you so much, Lizzie Longtoes, one of my more famous followers. And I only say that because Salty loves you so much. He mentions you all the time. How can you not be famous? I think everybody in the army knows who you are, Lizzie. So I appreciate you hanging out with us, and I feel honored that you're here. Tweak, welcome. American Dream, welcome. Super Trucker, Ben Band, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Let's see, make sure I'm not missing anything. You can't make this stuff up yet. Poor old Jerry Springer. Although, like I say, it seems like he had a pretty good life, and I'm sure he was paid dearly for those shows. I mean, the sponsors, they were the equivalent of the, I guess, real life, those magazines that you see on the newsstands or at the checkout stands. Tabloids, real life tabloids. It's true, though, Lizzie. Lizzie says she loves it when I say that, but it's true. I wouldn't speak other than the truth unless I was just wrong and didn't know any better. But even then. All right. And now, okay, like I say, Steven Crowder's trending again, of course, for his divorce that he announced this week, which, especially with kids, can be a devastating occurrence between Crowder's drive and penchant to be quite the diva at times. I get why those around him may feel rather overwhelmed by him. I also think that his devotion to his principles chases many away as well. I mean, look at Jesus Christ. Look at what they did to him. And he was a man of principles. He didn't sidestep whenever something came to his life that he could have said, oh, okay, well, let's go ahead and participate in something I'm not supposed to be. And I'll give up my principles for this and that and the other. And like I say, it's lonely at the top when it comes to that kind of thing. And it happens. I also, let's see, sometimes also too, especially with most people, it's someone that's inflexible with their beliefs, their routines, their habits can actually be really hard to live with and work with. And of course, his show probably took up a shitload of his time. I'm telling you now, this show takes up a lot of my time, and I'm only on for 2 hours. But I want to make sure that, I try to be as professional about it as possible. I try not to have a lot of dead air, and I try to acknowledge everybody. And it ends up taking up to 2 hours and everything like that. But all the prep time for it, all the reading, all the background stuff that I end up having to do so that I can actually be somewhat correct with the bullshit that I talk about. Or at least what I've read or what I've heard, it's out there. You can look it up too, you know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you anything that's not out there. And like I say, the only way I'm not lying about these things. If I'm wrong, that just means I've read the wrong thing or the wrong person, the other person lied. I don't make a lot of this stuff up myself. But I hear a lot of people condemning him about all of this and how he has done others wrong in the process. And that he's saying weird and libelous things about others' knowledge of it now. It surprised the hell out of me when he mentioned it. Privacy when it comes to somebody of his ilk, if you will, 5 million followers just on one platform. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of possibilities of getting recognized and being harassed and you know, and the main thing you don't want to do is subject any very, very young children to that kind of thing, because these people, like my friend earlier said, these people have no respect for anything. They have no respect for themselves. So why would they have any qualms about, you know, hurting a child of someone that they think is a devil or a demon or a Nazi? So, talk about salty. I noticed the live stream from Wednesday got 225,000 views. Good. Every couple shows the viewers are really high. If you want some advertising, post a tip. Oh, okay. Great. Space Cowboy. Welcome to the show. Russian Bot. Welcome. Appreciate everyone being here tonight. I don't see Bruin Backhand here tonight. Oh, okay. That's all right. YouTube must be doing something crazy. Pill.net, however, is really great and would like peeps to check it out more. Yes, I'm wanting to do that. Still pissed at Odysee, but I feel like I should make another account there and join in with the friends. Yeah, we're trying to put up with it, and like I say, growing pains. This stuff goes really, really fast, and if you're indie, you have to be really on top of it all the time. It's a 24/7 type of thing. It really is, and it's tough. So. Give these programmers and these people taking care of these platforms and everything like that a break. The computer does do most of it, but if it breaks, you have to figure out what it is, and it's not always that easy. One period out of place in thousands and thousands of pages of, well, I don't have to tell you guys this, of code can screw everything up. Okay. And yeah, I've been wanting to get on Pill, but like I say, I need a more powerful computer to do that now. I have to grow before I can grow. Although, like I say, it's y'all's fault that I actually am doing as well now that as I'm doing, and I'm trying really hard to be grateful for that, because it is way better than when I very first started doing live feeds. In fact, I could only do Odysee and YouTube, and both of them would buffer and all that other stuff and everything like that. And it's because of the fact that I had an extremely low bandwidth. I had very, very low internet speeds and everything like that. Now I'm up to 1 gig, whatever. They got 110 and 100 now or something like that. And I've got fiber optics, so it's really fast. Sometimes it's to my detriment too. Things get uploaded before I can even type out the information on it and stuff. All right, big buckle corduroys. that looks like Raynoth. Is that Raynoth in there? Excuse me. Okay. All right. Let's see, and again, those that have the kind of integrity and staunch principles, such as I've noticed that Crowder professes to have, and seems to at least stick to most of it, and he does seem to have some huge audience accolades and paychecks that may have gone to his head a little bit. But again, you have to, when you stand on your principles, you have to not falter. And he seems, you know, when he makes his mind up about something, he decides something and everything like that, he sticks to it. I mean, that's actually the definition, the epitome of integrity. You know, and I'm glad that he's on our side and he's not like doing that while he's like committing crimes and stuff like that. But he's always seemed to be one of those my way or the highway types too. But I don't know that many folks that seem inflexible to not be upstanding and resolute. And those kinds of folks are usually pretty lonely anyway. I would venture to say, you know, we don't know anything really about his divorce or what's going on. Supposedly she's the one that filed for divorce. And again, when it comes to show business, a lot of times, especially if you're in charge or if you're the star or if you're the one that everyone in the production company depends on and everything, it's kind of a 24/7 job. You have to have a spouse. It's actually the same way with the music business. It's a little bit different, but it's also kind of the same too, because I'm sure he was dealing with people that would probably flirt with him. You always catch stuff like that. I don't care how small you are. There's always somebody that's going to throw themselves at you for some reason from being on stage like that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the fact that that person looks at you and says, damn, you got the nuts to do this kind of shit, and I wish I did too. They hang out with you thinking that maybe you'll put them there. I've had that situation too. I've had a lot of people hang on to me. Man, can you get me a gig? Man, can you get me? Can you introduce me to the manager? Man, can you get me a gig? Can you let me up to audition for these people? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, so yeah, that's part of it too. But you got the hangers on too. It's like they're looking for crumbs of this little bit of they call it clout chasing, I guess you could say too. If they get on their Instagram, oh, look at this picture with me and so that's so great and so big. And I'm friends with this person. That gives you the clout too. So it's crazy. Oh, by the way, I don't know how many of you know this or if you even cared about any of this with the Steven Crowder. But Owen Benjamin was actually the one who supposedly spilled the beans about the whole thing. It's kind of weird, too, because Crowder didn't mention anything about Benjamin. He went right after Candace Owens, which actually proves another point to me, too, about this whole thing. It's just another internet feud to get clicks. In fact, if it was that insignificant, Candace Owens wouldn't even said anything about it. But it's getting her clicks too. So don't be fooled by these fuckers that start claiming this and that and the other and all this. Start acting like the victim and doing the kinds of things like he did. Because, again, look at his position right now. He's hanging on. He seems to be hanging on to his business, if nothing else, by the skin of his teeth. And actually, if they're going through a divorce, there's probably a good indication she's suing him for that too. Or at least the money that makes. And you know he's worth a fortune. Daily Wire offered him $50 million. I mean, come on. So I was going to say, I don't watch Owen Benjamin that much, but I thought that was rather, in fact, I found the tweet. No, it's not that. Did I not pull that one up either? I am so stupid today. Pay no mind to that. Okay. Oh, that's sweet. Cakes and pies. Who's eating cakes and pies? You guys are making me hungry. Try to stay away from the refined sugar too. That seems to not only raise your blood sugar, make you insulin deficient, but it also what was the other thing? Oh, it's also bad for your blood and it's bad for your heart. Sugar cane, the more pure stuff, but I'm talking about the white refined stuff. It's actually kind of the same thing that they do when they bleach the flour. It's another thing you need to stay away from is bleached flour. Let's see. Okay, Owen Benjamin, if you guys didn't know who he was, he actually was a writer for him for Crowder for a while. And he claims that he left because of creative differences. And basically what he said was that Crowder had his limits too. When Benjamin wanted to report on something or write about something, they told him what he could and couldn't talk about. He said something to the effect that he was wanting to talk about, it was something that was going on during the Obama era, and Crowder just told him absolutely not. And it was something that was kind of important that they should have been talking about in the first place. So, and Owen actually seems to have some kind of integrity when it comes to this stuff too. I mean, look where he lives now. Look what he's doing now, you know. But this divorce thing is not the only thing that's going viral for Crowder. Landau's actually out there talking about him right now, too. This is another one I need to pull up. Jeez, what happened to all of my tabs? Let's see if I can find it. I know I've got it bookmarked. I got a few things I wanted to show you. Did it go away? I guess he took it down. Well, I know that these guys got NDAs. There's the tweet from Owen Benjamin. maybe there's another one on here, but there might have been the NDAs, because I know that Dave Landau talked about him too, and mentioned something to the effect that they were on their break, and it was Easter or something like that, and he mentioned, I can't find that video anywhere, and I had it bookmarked. They must have taken it down. Yeah, tell me again how Twitter is your friend when it comes to this stuff. Anyway, Landau basically told Crowder called him at home or something like that after they had some kind of discussion about some guest on the show or something like that, and he said that Crowder was being a little bit incoherent, but then asked him seriously, hey man, do you want to be a part of the Louder with Crowder show anymore? And Landau was actually honest with him, said, well, not at the moment. And he said that Crowder went ballistic. So he said he even had people around at his apartment, and he was screaming at him so loudly about disloyalty and all this blah 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 blah, everything like that, that all of his guests could hear him going off, screaming at him. And it was like, gee, that's really going to get people to want to work for him as far as that goes. And of course, Lando said that with Crowder there was speech censorship and stuff like that with them too. And of course, like I say, I do realize that they had to stay on, they're trying to do everything that they can to stay on YouTube and everything like that, but there were also, he's no saint either as far as that goes. They picked and choose their stuff too. So, and then if you've even got people accusing Owen Benjamin of trying to make money off of it too, and it's like, hey man, all I did was tell the truth. How is that making money off of these people? Everyone always wants to know where Dave is, and they are like, see ya if he's not there. Dave Landau, really? Okay, so he's losing his crowd over all of this too. And it's actually one of those changes in life. Divorce is one of those things that they compare close to a death. You basically, your entire life changes. You have to change the way that you treat the people that were in your house at one time, that lived all together. You have to make other plans. It's hard. And these kids aren't even 2. So I know what they're going through, because that's how old I was when my parents got divorced. I wasn't even 3 yet. And it was almost like I was born into that pain. And it was painful. It still is sometimes today even. So, damn, I wish I could. Maybe that's the reason why I didn't have that video up, because they took it down. I had it in my bookmarks because it was something I was covering. It was something I wanted to cover tonight, but I don't see that. They must have taken it off there. Okay, all right. But that was what he said. I'm paraphrasing for the most part, but yeah, nobody seems to have been real happy about working with Crowder. And of course, again, he's a creative. I can be honest with you, I'm one of very few people, and even sometimes I'm hard to work with too, but it's not necessarily that I'm hard to work with. I have my standards, and I'll only accept certain things when it comes to doing business, doing certain things, and it is my business. So, I try just like him to be, I have to be responsible. I'm the one that whoever it is that has a complaint comes to when they have a complaint. So, I try to make it as easy for myself and people that work with me as possible if I can, but I do stand on some grounds, and there are some things that you absolutely have to do in order to be successful in some of these things, even if it's just for the moment or for that one show. So I can see that too, and it is hard to work with, you got a different idea, and you can't see exactly what this person is thinking, but it's their show. They're the ones responsible for it. He's paying you to do a job. If you want to do the job, fine. If you don't, he can pay somebody else to do the job. That's business. That's the way it works. And it seems impersonal, and it is. It should be. There are no friends in business. Steven Crowder's proof of that. There's a lot of people that are leaving him for that, but that's because they don't understand what the hell's going on with that as well. Now, again, I don't know everything about it. He could be one of the worst demon devils people in the world, in the universe, but I'm not here to judge that. And of course, the show is, here's what I heard. I'm not gonna talk about anything that I don't know or haven't heard or speculate. I'm not like that. I'm not gonna put it out there and put it in your head and then try to make you think that it was true at that point as well. So, I have a tendency, though, to believe that Crowder, much like Mulvaney, has figured out the algorithms and acts accordingly. I mean, he went viral again just for this divorce announcement, and we're finding out this divorce announcement should have been, has been kept private since 2021. It's essentially done. It's a done deal. They're gone. It's been 2 years. So he even has Candace Owens threatening to sue him over all of this. But just like the $50 million deal that went viral after Crowder and Daily Wire had their internet feud, I believe that this is another attempt to do another internet feud for clicks. Remember, except for the Bud Light thing, which seems to be the only exception so far to this rule, is no publicity is bad. Again, he was, for at least 2 days, he was trending on Twitter, as far as I could tell. All right, and we all know, even Crowder, if it bleeds, it leads. So, all right. One of the things, and I think I did actually, one of the things, I'm gonna lighten it up just a little bit. One of the things I absolutely love about the English language and why I like writing and doing these live feeds and all this stuff is because the English language, as far as I know, is the only one that you can really play with, and some of the same words mean 3-4 different things. And then you've got the 3-4 different things, they're spelled differently, but they sound the same. So, I mean, you can play with it, but I like it when people make up other names for things. So, I found this came across my feed the other day, and it was just hilarious. This guy, I think he's out of Australia. It might be New Zealand. I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure. That's what the accent sounds like to me, but hey, I'm not not an expert in that kind of stuff either. But English are hard, but if you have fun with it when you can, it doesn't get you down. It doesn't have to get you down. And if you're a grammar Nazi, I suggest you go somewhere else. Go get you a snack or something like that for now. This is cute. You'll love it. Let me see that you can see it all. All right. And here we go.
Mate, I'm thinking of growing a lips eyebrow. A lips eyebrow? Yeah, lips eyebrow. No, a moustache. Anyway, mate, you've left a plant-based sausage in the fridge. It's going mouldy. What are you talking about? Yeah, plant-based sausage. Do you mean a cucumber? Yeah, plant-based sausage. Are you feeling all right? Do you know the name of anything? What's this? That's a giant volcano llama. Sorry? Well, what's this then? A milk moose. A milk moose, right. Well, what's this colour? Spicy yellow. What's this? Oh, that's a mean forest pig. Okay, well, what is this thing called? Donut swords. Wow, donut sword. Well, what are the things that you put on your car to, like, charge a battery up? That's a car defibrillator. Right, okay, what's it called when you pay your respects, you have a minute of invisibility for sound? Sure. What's this? That's a fish zoo. Oh my god, what's this? They're sweet bent barbershop poles. What's the little thing before the S? Oh, you mean the elevated comma? What are these? Sun sponges. What's this place called? That's a dead people garden. And after a funeral, they get driven there in what? A funeral limo. Takes the dead people to the dead people garden. This is a simple one. What's this called? They're ground pubes. What about these? Sea ghosts. You're unbelievable. What's it called after the wedding ceremony? You go to the romantic wake. That is ridiculous. What's this thing called? Vertical merry-go-round. You actually don't know the name of anything, do you? What's this? British water. All right, here's one. The other day you were playing footy and you hurt your leg and you were walking around with a leg lisp. A leg lisp, of course it is. All right, you make guacamole with a guacamole pear. What are these called then? Sound weapons. Let me guess, this one is a horizontal Ferris wheel. That's a horse tornado. I'm smelling this. It has a pungent nose flavour. You fill up your car with transport sauce. This is more painful from when I sprained my leg wrist. That's it. I'm done with this. Want to go kick the red kangaroo corset? Yeah, I'd love to. I do need to kick the out of something. Mate, I'm thinking of growing.
I enjoyed that, especially the ground pew. Especially now, I was gonna say we're gonna talk about somebody that doesn't get talked about too much, but there's a reason for that too. As I'm seeing more and more folks, including myself, as they grow older, notice the errors of their ways. Now, unfortunately, most don't do anything to change them or make them any better. I have seen so many older people that I feel should know better when spouting things about the way this country should be run. Maybe they're just scared, I don't know. Change is necessary, but we as humans are programmed to resist it for some reason. And let's see. There was umpteen theories by as many talking heads, both left and right, as to why he was fired from Fox News or anything like that. the ones that stick in my mind the most is that the Murdochs are getting ready to sell, and he would have been a deal breaker, depending on who they're going to sell it to. But also, too, I'm pretty sure that his salary, since he is he's literally one of the largest personalities on cable, period. Forget about just Fox News. I'm talking about cable, period. According to what I saw, he had, people are saying that he had upwards of 40 million views on just the indie thing that he did last night on Twitter, where he talks about that, you know, there's more to come and all that other. Blue-eyed devil, don't leave. I will never leave you. Not as long as the man upstairs allows me to stay. I'm not going anywhere. Welcome to the show, Blue-eyed devil. You're another new face in my chat. I do appreciate you being here. Everybody, welcome, Blue-eyed devil. Let's see. What did you say? Pastor Shadley. Oh, okay. You're asking questions up there. Elon Space Internets. Oh, are you having problems with it? See, I don't have that. Somebody would call me in the middle of my show. All right. He's probably calling to tell me that he's not working tonight, which I'm not going out there anyway. Usually we go and see a friend of mine and fellowship with him after the show. He buys us a burger at the Denny's sometimes. Space Cowboy. Really bummed when Kevin stopped having coffee. Oh, okay. Did he? Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty bummed about that too. Of course, I haven't been getting up that early in the morning, so I wasn't sure if he was still around or not. If he's if he's going through some of the stuff that we think he's going through, especially since he wants to go public with his detransition, he may not have time to be on internet too much. Plus, also too, doesn't he live in like Minnesota or something like that? They're still having winter time up there. It's still freaking snowing up there. So, all right. The ones that stick out to me the most, one of them, like I say again, was the fact that they were getting ready to sell. For some reason, they're getting ready to sell, and he would have been a deal breaker for two reasons. His opinions, which you notice he's starting to switch over. It's almost like he's become a Christian or something like that, because he's actually even telling people now to pray, which isn't a bad thing. And you know, you don't actually, it can be meditation. It can be, a lot of times it's self-reflection, and it helps you to center yourself so that you can get the rest of your day done. I know that it helps me to not be bothered by what people talk about me. It helps me to not care what everybody else thinks about me. It helps me to get on with my day and not worry about what everybody else thinks about it. Because, you can't live your life by somebody else's standards. It's just not possible. Grizzy, welcome. And Abtide, welcome to the show. Appreciate y'all being here. All right. The second thing that comes to mind, of course, again, Rupert Murdoch, and this actually did come down from the brass. He is the brass on this one. Supposedly I think this comes from somebody that was close to them through Vanity Fair or something like that, which I've done articles with Vanity Fair, so you can take this with a grain of salt, but it does sound plausible. He went to dinner at the Murdoch's house, and the Rupert Murdoch fiance at the time adored Tucker Carlson. I would venture to say that's one of the reasons why he was over there having dinner with them or whatever. And supposedly they were talking biblically or talking religion or something like that. And of course, supposedly this fiance that he dumped right after this, shame on him, had said something to the effect that she thought, and like I say, this is all hearsay, and Vanity Fair to me is not one of the most credible news organizations, but again, some of this sounds as plausible as it can be, especially after listening to his speech, which America Floats played just before I started the show tonight. His speech at the college or whatever like that, basically telling people to pray, and that we're having he's realizing that this is more than just a, he said, he said, she said type of thing. He's finally, I think he's had the epiphany that he's finally noticed that life is literally the perpetual battle between good and evil. Once you notice that, once you see that, you can't unsee it. Especially if you don't want to be on the side of evil. Makes sense to me. But supposedly after this dinner and everything like that, he broke up with her, and she had wanted him to do some kind of another show or something. I don't know. She was coming up with ideas, and of course Murdoch couldn't have that. Supposedly this would have been his fifth wife. This is somebody that you really would take advice from on humility and humanity and righteousness. His fifth wife, and he's a billionaire. And he's in control of what we see and hear all the time and things like that. And he seems to not let the actual truth go out. He has an agenda as well. So, yeah. I can see where that would happen. Of course, when I saw him do the video last night, saying he would be back and all that other kind of thing like that, basically what I was looking at was the face of a man who had been imprisoned unjustly for too many years. He spoke like he was some kind of a free man that had just been freed from a wrongful persecution or prosecution or wrongful jail time or whatever. And I think one of the reasons it kind of started with this.
You literally can't believe the facts Tucker Carlson tells you. The facts Tucker Carlson tells you. The facts Tucker Carlson tells you. The facts Tucker Carlson tells you.
So now they're telling us not to believe facts anymore. But again, like I say, I kind of sort of think it started with that. Because this happened about a month ago. And I read also, too, or saw something that came across my feed real quick about Alex Jones was predicting this as well. Now, I don't know who he has on the inside or if he's just got that kind of vision anymore. That man's been right more times than but he knows the system, too. It sounds to me like he was literally raised within that system and decided not to become a part of it. From some of the things that he talks about, some of his relatives who were actually part of the system. In fact, I think that he was a young boy when they assassinated Kennedy. He talks about that sometimes too. Supposedly somebody had some insight or whatever on that too. I don't know the whole thing, but I think that the whole thing with Tucker kind of spiraled after they started telling people we can't believe facts anymore. Especially if the facts come from Tucker Carlson. So, again, another reason we'll probably never know. I'm sure he's got an NDA. Now, a lot of people are talking about the fact that this video he made yesterday, talking about how he's, happier and that once you step back from it and you can actually see the whole picture, it's like smacks you in the face, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot of people talking about that he's kind of like smacking back too because the studio he was in was the studio that Fox built for him after he had to run from the people that were doxing him when he lived in New York, I think it was, or in Connecticut or something like that. So supposedly he lives down in Florida and he did a lot of stuff from down there. And he actually broadcasts from the studio down there too. He doesn't live in New York or any of those big places anymore. So can't say as I blame him. He's got 4 kids and these people were actually literally breaking his windows and threatening to come in. And if I don't understand what's stopping them sometimes. I'm glad that they don't go any farther than they do usually, but at the same time, if you think about it rationally and you're actually standing there in the midst of it, there's really nothing to stop these people from literally ripping your house apart, girder by, piece by piece. Not to mention the fact that they bring hammers and they bring bats and they bring fireworks and some of them bring knives and machetes and they bring weapons and stuff like that. I really am surprised. I really am surprised we haven't seen anything like that. Of course, one strike of a match in some cases or a Molotov cocktail and that'll do it too. But I haven't seen them do that much either. That's why I say, what actually ends up stopping these people from literally ripping these people's houses apart piece by piece when they go and protest like this? I've wondered that. And I've been thankful that something has stopped them from that. That could be very... Yeah. These people would be murderers at that point. And some of them already are. If you think about it. All right. Now, most of us know that the same day that Tucker was fired... I'm going to go to my big screen here. I don't have a visual for this. So you can actually see me talking. All right. Most of us know already the same day that Tucker was fired, so was our favorite CNN anchor, Don Lemonhead. Now, I have a few theories as to why his termination wasn't covered even near as much as Carlson's. The least of which, the fact that when they were talking heads, Tucker made ratings records every night, while Lemon never got even close when he was in the same time slot. And of course, as we could see from his reactions and the way that he was so roundly excoriated when placed in a woman's dominated area of CNN establishment, that he couldn't handle the demotion. To the point where he even denied that it was a demotion. Due to his status, as we'll call it, the network, I believe, did that to A, fulfill the rest of his contract, or at least look like they were doing right by him, even though his ratings were abysmal. And that would have been reason enough. And B, and this almost worked, they tried to make him so miserable that he would just up and quit. Which would then leave them off the hook for having to get rid of someone of his status, if you will. I think they even rigged the sexual harassment lawsuit outcome as to cover their own asses for even having to defend something like that from someone as perfect as Don Lemonhead. My best guess as to why he was not as covered as much as Tucker again, besides the obvious, was that most folks already considered him gone when they switched him to mornings. I know I thought he was gone at that point. I mean, anybody and everybody that has any two brain cells to rub together, you know, you saw the writing on the wall. And it's amazing that the only way to get a man of his status fired is to have him get a little misogynistic. I don't think they were expecting that per se, but it ended up being lagniappe and working out for them anyway. Sure wish we could convince folks, though, most of these folks that claim to be trans and are making money off of their mockery are more misogynistic than old Lemonhead will ever be. So, all of these firings of folks that we knew and loved to either love or hate them are all going to be replaced by new contracted liars and clout chasers. Mark my words. In fact, there's still quite a few of them left in the places where these people have been fired from, but just to let them start asking hard questions, and you know what'll happen next. I predict Gutfield is going to be probably the next one that they're either going to silence, squash, or demote. See what happens. Of course, if they do that, they're totally doomed, because right now he's the only thing that's making them. He's the only other thing that's making Fox News actually worth going to. And to be honest with you, he's got the top spot, but when some of his jokes just lie flat, his own studio audience doesn't laugh at them. And he waits for the laugh, too. I'm actually wondering, because, you know, again, Tucker Carlson was the largest person on cable or satellite, you know, the mainstream, the traditional media and everything like that. I wonder if this situation is going to turn out to be similar to Seth MacFarlane. Because you remember they canceled Seth MacFarlane's show, and there was so much demand for him to come back. When he did come back, he pretty much wrote his own ticket. They didn't balk or anything. He set a number and it was like done. Of course, now he's been there for how many? He's trying to match up with The Simpsons, although both of those shows have pretty much gone to shit. You know, you run out of ideas after a while. There's only so much, there's only so many stories you can tell. And some of the stuff on Family Guy was just so damn bizarre most of the time. Let's see. Oh, okay. Cy says you blue-eyed. Okay, that was you, Cy. Okay, blue-eyed devil was Cy. Thank you. Thank you for being over there. Bruce Almighty. What was that one? James Carrey is kind of douche, but that movie was fun. Actually, that's something I've been seeing here. I've seen a couple of things go through my feed, and I wanted to cover it, but I wasn't sure how yet or how to place it in some of the stuff. But I've seen a few recent, I think they're recent things where it sounds to me like Jim Carrey has found Christ. And the way that he describes it is definitely and certainly a personal relationship with whoever his Redeemer is. He doesn't really mention him by name per se, but he does. He compares him to the suffering that we go through before we realize that we don't have to suffer anymore. It's a real strange the meme above. Some folks pull facts out of there. Yep. Some folks do. Some folks do. Let's see. Where was I? Where was I talking about? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. He actually does. He compares the situation. He says, just like Jesus Christ came to save us, we suffering is suffering, and then the realization of all the suffering and everything like that is our salvation. So just him saying it that way gave me the idea that yes, he now has a personal relationship with Christ, which is not a bad thing. If that's actually the case, and he does the right things and stuff like that. Now, of course, it's not me. It's not for me to judge. It's still it's not a religion. It literally is a personal relationship. The bases are there, but you have to be the one to go into it, and your experience is not going to be like anyone else's ever. But yeah, Jim Carrey. I hope that that's the case, because he did seem rather troubled and not very at peace for the longest time. And I would venture to say that the industry has probably done a lot of that to him. He was pretty indie before he started signing up for the movies and things like that. And even to the point of where he went to some of the awards ceremonies, I'm sure he was invited. They don't go without being invited. And literally going up to the MCs and telling him, this shit means nothing. This shit is nothing. This is all bullshit. Nobody's going to remember it. We're not of this earth. This is not, and it was like, wow, he's existential and all this other stuff. And I thought, nah, he's just going through something. And he was. Let's see. The one thing I can't, and I think I said this earlier, the one thing I can say that in watching the latest post from Tucker Carlson, he sounds like a man who's just been freed from prison after being unjustly imprisoned. And you know what? The more that this happens and we find out some behind the scenes occurrences, the more I'm convinced of my deduction of all of these folks in the traditional media are all high-paid slaves. Once you sign that paper, once you sign that contract with these production companies, they own you. They tell you what to think. They tell you what to say. They tell you what to wear. They tell you what you can eat. They tell you how much you can weigh. They tell you to get plastic surgery. And then they tell you that if any of that stuff isn't taken care of, they can cancel your contract and take away your monies and your goodies. Like that. No retributions. You can't argue with them or anything like that. You sign that, and of course, and they still own you after that. You can't complain about it. You can't go do other jobs. They own you. These people in the media, and I'm talking movie stars. I'm talking television stars. I'm talking a majority of the musicians now, the newscasters, which are all actors nowadays anyway. All of them owned by that system. They've all signed their lives away to that system. I haven't trusted the media since the early 80s. Well, when Madonna and all these other guys started in with the Rock the Vote and the making the money for this and the making the money for that and and I found out that these people were not volunteering their time. These big name stars are literally, the headliners of these things, and they get paid a lion's shares of usually of whatever it is that comes in that they're touting for money for. I thought, well, you know what? These people are phonies. They don't care about this stuff. They're paid to care about this stuff. Not to mention the fact that these people make millions and millions and millions of dollars doing this stuff while they're telling people like us that are barely scraping by that we need to give more and that we're assholes if we don't. So, yep, they get paid well. Their entire lives are controlled in every aspect, including but not limited to what they can think and say. Go outside of that parameter while the goal is always changing, and they get some kind of punishment, even if it's some kind of humiliation or the loss of the said huge monetary rewards. Although I got to say, I don't think Tucker's going to have any trouble with that. He seems like he was a pretty practical person. Yeah, he made a lot of money doing all this other stuff, but I don't think he spent it all at once. I think he was saved up. He saved up for retirement. He's got a nice villa down in Florida now. And let's see, am I missing anybody? Bobby, welcome to the show. Welcome. I appreciate y'all being here tonight. Don't forget, share. I know I've been on quite the rant. I forget about all the production bullshit. All right, now this video came across my feed, and I don't know why, but I thought of my Odysee crew. But I thought you guys would think this is hilarious. But it also brings up the question why. And when you figure out what this is, you'll ask the same question why, because you know what's going on. We'll talk about it in a minute. Check it out. I don't know who Aubrey Plaza is, but they wrote an article about this. She must be some TV star or something like that. Maybe you guys can tell me who she is. But this was hilarious. And, oops, let me get over there. All right. And again, I don't know why it made me think of my Odysee crew. Maybe because it was just so out there. Here we go.
Have you ever looked at a tree and thought, can I drink this? I did.
No.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Plaza, co-founder of Wood Milk, the world's first and only milk made from wood. Here at Wood Milk Orchard,
sounds disgusting.
We're certain that our artisanal wood milk will be the only milk you'll want to drink for the rest of your life. Why? Because I said so.
Yeah, that's typical.
Our wood milk is bottled right here in the forest where the trees hit the dirt, which locks in the flavors like cherry, maple, and of course mahogany. And if you can't pick your favorite, that's okay, because they all taste like wood. Here's how wood milk is born. Not born, exactly. More like squished into a slime that's legal to sell. Let's give it a try. Got wood? Is wood milk real? Absolutely not. Only real milk is real.
Thank God.
Then what did I invest in?
All right, so that was a milk commercial, and that's a newer milk commercial. It's only been out for about 7 days now. It blew my mind because that actually came up before a video I was watching, and I thought, what? So I looked for it, and there, lo and behold, like I say, they did an article on it and everything. But with everything that they're doing right now, and trying really, really hard to get people not to drink dairy, not to use any kind of animal products or anything like that, what the hell is this about? Why are they advertising like this all of a sudden? Can anyone tell me? Did anyone else see this video before? Tom McDonald is so ugly that I don't trust him. Deacon Bean Cooter. You know you can't judge a book by its cover. And don't forget, he's another one of those redeemed people. With the help of God and Christ and everything like that, as he says, he pulled himself out of a very dark place, and he might not even be here right now had it not been for that. So he's fugly, but he seems to have a beautiful heart and wants to do better, and that's really all we can ask for. No judging. That's not your job. Coon Dog, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for the donation. You get one of these. I do appreciate that. Thank you for the cash. Damn cows. I don't trust the milk and cows. Yeah, actually, I had read somewhere that they were starting to put aspartame in milk. Why? Why would they do that? Why does it need a sweetener, and an artificial sweetener at that? Not to mention the fact that aspartame, I don't know about anybody else, but aspartame gave me arthritis real bad, or whatever you want to call it. Just made my my joints and my bones and everything really hurt. My knees hurt real bad. My shoulders would hurt real bad. Once I stopped drinking the diet soda, all that shit went away. Oh, all right. Thank you, Sai, for the super chat over on Rumble. And you're very welcome. It's my pleasure to do all of this. Here, you get one of these. All right. Greetings, you're on the air.
You fucking stupid bitch! This stupid fucking justice, all fucking righteous fucking nigger, Alex, is doing this shit! You fucking nigger!
Are you going to talk to me? Okay. They hung up, whoever that was. Thank you for the call. Now we know how they feel about me. All right.
Oh,
greetings, you're on the air.
Still ringing. So, hey, how are ya?
All right, how you doing? This is limited access, everyone.
I'm hanging in there. Hey, I want to let people know, all right, that I'm hanging in there. And, hey, I just had a medical emergency, and I want people to, you know, think about that because, I mean, sometimes that shit happens. And though I've had medical emergencies because I'm old, before, I wasn't a 5-day hospital stay as well. Okay. And with the climate and everything going on like it is, it's not so great.
Is it still snowing up there?
No, I can see grass.
For today, right?
Right, and I was lucky enough to get this damn Aereo garden in January that Walmart was blowing out, and it was the only one left for, you know, they wanted $184 originally for it, and nobody wanted it up here for that, you know, and I got it for like $97 and put it away and I didn't get a chance to start anything because of health issues and whatever. Mm-hmm. Started some tomatoes in it, and like 7 days later, I've got like seedlings popping up, and I'm like, woo, maybe I'll have some tomatoes. All right, woo woo.
Yeah, my tomatoes are growing pretty good this year too. I've had them sprouted. They're about 6 inches high now. I've had them. Mm-hmm. I've had them in there for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I think. 3 weeks.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, mine are about 2, and I like had to pull like the cloth off of it to look at them today because I was like, well, crap, I haven't looked at them in a couple days. I had my grandkids on the weekend, and they killed a bunch of my plants and whatever. I'm like, oh, crap, whatever.
Yeah.
But, but, you know, I hate to say that, you know, all right, so I live in, most of y'all know, I live in South Dakota. I live in northeastern South Dakota. Manitoba and Fargo, North Dakota are not that far from me. It's like a half a day's drive. Fargo's like an hour drive. Sioux Falls is like an hour and a half drive. I mean, I'm like up that corridor. Okay, so it's moist here. It's cold here, and the weather right now especially is really unpredictable. Mm-hmm. Don't know what's going to happen. Those Aereo gardens, you know, and I was kind of like, on the Aereo garden, you know, trying to grow with the water and whatever.
Oh, those are tough.
Well, yeah, and this is my first go-around with it because I'm experimenting. I want to get my seedlings started, you know, early enough, but I can't do it outside. I got to do it in the house, and then I got to get them strong enough to be able to deal with our weather, right? You know, so, I mean, that might be a great investment for everybody. I mean, even I haven't tried. All right, so I got an Aereo garden, like at a really good price, and it was a really good one with it had all kinds of seed packets and all that stuff with it, but that was like a fluke, okay? Because the one that I actually have, Amazon, I bought it for $97 back in January. It's $183 on Amazon, if you can find it. If you can find what I got, the Bounty Basic. And I would suggest, because this Bounty Basic thing, you can actually start your seedlings, and a lot of seedlings in it. And then it has another thing, and you can start, I'm trying to think. You can start like 25, 30, 40 seedlings in it. It's got the little things where you can do that many.
Wow.
Different plants germinate at different rates. So you got to kind of see what you got there. I mean, because my tomatoes are coming up, but the basil is just like, not coming up. I have not had a good basil right now. I don't know what is going on with the seeds, but the last 2 years, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Not had a really good grow with anything other than what I'm pulling out of the nurseries. And I can keep that alive, but starting them, I don't know what's going on. My little oregano that I got during, when the hell was COVID, in between COVID, 2019, 20, whatever, I bought little pouches of these seeds, and my granddaughters and I...
Second week in March it started.
Okay, so my granddaughters and I started seeds that are probably 2 years past expiration on the basil and the oregano. The basil just isn't going, but the oregano is like, oh my God, I got to figure out what to do with all these little tiny seedlings, because they gave you like a lot of seeds, and wanted to see what would germinate, because it's a couple of years old, and they all germinate. It looks like, oh my God, my little pouching. Anybody that sees those little pouch growing things from, that have...
They make them out of shoe hangers.
House thing that you put on, it's a pouch.
Yeah, they make them out of shoe hangers.
Yeah, it has the pellets that you can, you expand and grow and put in the little pouch, and then it has like a little, plastic thing you put over that makes it a greenhouse or whatever.
Yep.
I've never had oregano go like that, so cross your fingers for me. My oregano goes. My granddaughters killed my tomato plant that I have been babying since last fall, that was just starting to produce. They will not tell their father what the hell they sprayed on my plant. I'm like, oh, man, what am I going to do with this soil? I don't know what I'm going to do with the soil. I might just throw it out, because they won't say what they sprayed on the plant that's killed that and about 3 other plants. I'm thinking that they sprayed some dusting stuff or something. Behold, dusting stuff or something, because it's oily. But I can't smell anything, so I don't know what the hell it is. But I one of my latest preps lately, and I didn't know if I could do it or not, and I saw something on YouTube and said, hey, I'm going to try this. So I bought some, regular rice, long cooking rice, and cooked it in my big rice cooker, and I cooked about 2.5 pounds of rice. And I put it in, I got 2 dehydrating, not the Rotello ones, not the real expensive ones. I ended up getting these right before COVID for like $12.49 a piece. So
you've been telling me about those.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw them, and they were clearing them out at Menards, and I was just like, well, I'll get one for me and one for my son. Well, he abused it, and I just took it back. But I ended up dehydrating about 2.5 pounds of rice to make minute rice. So I cooked it first, and I rinsed it to get some of the starch and stuff off of it.
Salty Mad Jameson.
I put it on the dehydrating. You know, I got I have things that you can dehydrate smaller stuff on so they won't fall through the big holes. You know, the one I have is, you know, you can make jerky and stuff on it and be okay, and it won't fall through those holes.
No falling through them big holes.
Right.
No hot dogs down the hallway.
Let's not go there now. I am officially a transgender because I have 2 assholes. There we go. Yay! Holy fuck. Anyways, so I went and dehydrated the rice that I had cooked, and it's now minute rice.
Oh, neat.
However, I want to tell the folks that I tried to put it in like the vacuum seal bags. Do not try to do that because it will poke through the bags and you're just wasting your bags.
Oh, it gets too sharp.
You won't get the vacuum seal. Put it in a jar.
Yeah, it gets too sharp and too hard.
Out of the 2.5 pounds, out of the 2.5 pounds, I got a 1/2 gallon jar of.
On to the next thing. Let's see. We got 15 minutes left. All right. One of the things I said I was going to talk about when we were over there visiting with America Floats, Florida Pride Parade canceled because it cannot comply with anti-lewd law. So basically, what this organization or community is saying is, if you don't let us have the access to the kids, we're taking our football and going home. Of course, isn't that what we wanted to begin with? And like I said, nobody has anything against your parades. Just keep the kids out of it. Because I got to tell you, you know, this is my home state of Florida. I'm actually originally from Miami. All right. I keep hearing that they cancel. They won't allow children to see flopping dongs and decadence that takes place during these parades. Now, I'm someone who has literally experienced Decadence Fest and Mardi Gras in New Orleans. All right? This is literally the home of the phrase, show me your tits, in some aspects. Greetings, you're on the air. Hello?
Greetings, you're on the air.
All right, this isn't the guy that just cussed me out earlier, is it? Because if it is, I don't want to talk to your robot. If you got something to say, say it. All right, try again. All right, where was I? Let's see. Now, I was going to say, and actually, some of the things that I've seen in comparison to the Pride Parades, to Mardi Gras and Decadence Fest, which is actually a gay festival in the French Quarter, those particular activities in New Orleans literally look like Leave It to Beaver episodes compared to some of these Pride festivals and Pride parades. I mean, and like I say, New Orleans is the birthplace or the home of the phrase, show me your tits. You know what I'm saying? In certain circumstances. Usually they don't do that much outside of Mardi Gras or Decadence Fest, but it's also not something that's flaunted a whole lot either. I mean, they do it, but they still have to watch for the cops and stuff like that. But I've seen some things on Bourbon Street, and then when I'd look at some of these Pride parades that they would show us and everything like that, it's like, you literally have people humping each other in the streets at these parades. You don't see that at Mardi Gras. Tell me something, mister. American Dream, welcome to the show. Odyssee's asshole. Trade my YouTube for pill. One day, maybe. Actually, I'd rather not have to trade it. I'd rather be able to do both if I can. Like I say, I'm going to stay on YouTube just as long as I can irritate them, as long as they let me. Once they kick me off, they can go fuck themselves. But if I can irritate them, and even if I touch one person over there with the truth, that's all, that's not a bad thing. So I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up that easy. All right. Like I say, one of the things I never saw in Mardi Gras or Decadence was kids. Small children. From any type of family. All right. And I've also been seeing a bunch of gay folks come out against these parades as well. And most of them are saying that hey, it's your prerogative to have the parades, but they won't participate in them. And neither will their kids until they're age appropriate. Now, how ironic is it that once again, these gay folks, because you don't hear that a lot. It just happens to come through my feed, maybe the algorithm because of what I watch or whatever like that. But it seems to me that the gay people, just the LGB people, are being silenced again by folks that claim to be in their own community. How ironic is that? So, but back to the cancellation. Turns out that it's pretty ironic as well, because when it comes right down to it, it wasn't what we wanted to begin with. Or wasn't this what we wanted to begin with? If you're going to have your pride parades, we would rather have you have no pride parades than to indoctrinate our children and yours with this stuff. Age appropriate. No 2-year-old, no 8-year-old should have some old nasty guy's dick and balls swinging in their face. I'm sorry. It's just inappropriate. Anywhere. It's inappropriate anywhere. I don't care, private or out in the street. It's inappropriate. It's even inappropriate for your own children. But some of these people that allow this stuff just goes to show you how inappropriate they are. So from what I can tell, only those that were participating in such of these events are the only ones that really seem to want to participate or even see these events. Not everyone, and less folks in their own community want part of these pride parades. All right, please get Hallie over here to Odysee. Actually, she's always on her phone at work when she sees me. I guess you guys are going to have to introduce her somehow to the app or make the app work better. I'm not sure exactly how that works. There's a few people I'd like to get over to Odysee. At least get them over to Rumble. Because at least Rumble has a good app or something like that. Some people it takes longer for them to do. And everything like that. And Hallie's not the only one that goes and sees me over there on YouTube. Alright. This here is funny as shit. God ain't finished with this old lady yet. Now, this is a 6-minute video, but the first 1 minute is the funniest part of it. So, you'll love this. And I hope that I'm in this good a shape and with this good of a disposition when I get this old. Because, everything's gotta hurt.
We've been assuming my grandmother was going to die next year, every year, for my entire life. And here she is, 106 years old.
I can't hear her, can't see. Half the time I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's easier to name types of cancer she hasn't had. Yet somehow she's still making me, a totally able-bodied person, breakfast. Everyone says, don't let her wait on you, like there's some way I could stop her. This woman is obsessed with making sure I have enough blankets. Not only does she refuse to stop living, she refuses to retire as the manager of my own personal Denny's. Which begs the question, what's her secret? She must have lived a healthy lifestyle, right?
In them days, you could smoke right as you worked. Right at your desk or your bed, you could smoke. It gotta be at least a pack a day.
Okay, not a healthy lifestyle. In fact, when she was 48, she had a heart attack so massive, they read her last rites. And guess what? She outlived everyone in that room. Even 3 months ago, we were convinced...
I love it as she flips off the camera. All right, got just enough time. You know, it wouldn't be one of my shows if I didn't show you one of those freaked out fashion shows. I'm not going to play the music because I don't want another copyright strike, although they copyright me for everything and anything these days. Thank you, my baby. Coffee! Cheers, everyone. Wow, this is hot. I'm going to burn my tongue. Limited Access said, yeah, even when I was in that community, yes, no one was cool with kids being involved. Yeah, I was the same way. Now, a majority of my gay friends and my my drag queen friends are dead now because of AIDS. But I remember those days like it was yesterday because I used to work with them and perform with them. I've been in show business for a really long time now. And some of these people even looked sideways or even mentioned a child. They would be shunned. They would have to move out of the neighborhood. They would have to move out of the area where they were trying to work. They couldn't get work anymore because they would be shunned. And catch any of them with them, those people would kick their asses. The kids were off limits. It was, and I was going to say, on Bourbon Street, strictly adults entertainment anyway, because a lot of it was burlesque. Not to mention the fact that you see that one drag queen that plays Hogatha as well, the ugly one and the pretty one. She plays two different characters. She's another one that Benji mentioned that even backstage there's drugs, sex, and all kinds of debauchery going back there. Children should not be involved. In fact, they're proving more and more and more often that this kind of thing too young or at too young of an age fucks you up for the rest of your life. I still have problems with the things that happened to me as a child. Not that it's, oh, you can't get over it. It's something that messes with you, and especially with when you're impressionable like that, because during that time, you're not just getting the abuse of whatever it is, the penetration or the diddling and all that other stuff. You're also getting manipulation by being told, hey, if you tell anybody, I'm going to hurt that person, or I'm going to hurt you, or I'm going to end you. It doesn't stop with just the touching and all the inappropriate stuff. It also goes on with a lot of mental manipulation as well. And as a small child, you don't know any better. You believe what most adults tell you because they're adults. That's the way it works. That's the reason why they do it, and why it's so easy for a lot of them to do it. I was in the fashion industry. Oh, okay. This is not the fashion industry. I was never in the fashion industry per se, but I've been in show business long enough, and this wasn't in show business much either. But if you'll notice, I don't know if you can see, a majority of these people are men. Watch. Most of them look like Big Bird rejects. And these ones that they've got going way out, like that one right there, you have to have if you go to a party or something like that, or a gala or a gathering with somebody like that, if you go with this person as a date, you can't get real close to them to talk to them. You practically, I can see people megaphoning, hey babe, would you like a drink? And then having to have a reachy grabby thing to hand it to them. One of these things. Whoa. One of these things, a reachy grabby thing to hand it to her. You can't get close to that person. There's no dancing. There's no dancing with that person. Unless they change their clothes. But I mean, you can't, it's like I say, watching this and watching some of the wide hoop skirts and everything like that you can't get close to these person, and you probably have to talk to them with a megaphone to try and get their attention or whatever, because you can't get real close, so you can't whisper in their ear. Oops. Hit the wrong one. Hit the wrong button. Let's say, Laura, those are not men. Well, they're male. How about that? You can tell by some of them's legs. See, like that person right there. And that one there. You can't get close to that person. Don't go to a party with somebody. There ain't no dancing with this person. This one neither. That one either. In fact, I bet she'd be mad at you if you stepped on her dress. The green thing. All right, now you saw that was the designer. This is your designer, who's also male. But that was supposedly, I read the article at this on Vanity Fair, and basically this was his little queer boy's dream of having a fashion show. And he used all the same kind of people as he is, or she is, or whatever. You don't ever know anymore. They present as one thing and want you to call them something else, so whatever. Don't like it? Don't come to my show. All right. One more little thing I wanted to show you. This is something that came across my feed. Can anybody tell me what the hell this is? Some kind of a weird mermaid? And of course, they don't give you any information about it. They don't tell you where they found it, whatever. I just thought it was odd and I wanted to share it with you. But a movie prop. Movie prop. Oh, another phone call. I think I'm starting to recognize this number. Greetings, you're on the air.
All right, we're going to try this one more time, and this is one of the things that I want to talk about.
Okay, make it quick. The show's almost over.
I know. The bug burgers that you got, the Beyond Burgers or whatever.
This shit?
All right. Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Don't buy it like in the package, like pre-made like that. But I will recommend Augustin Farms has like a bean burger. Okay, it's a black bean burger that you can make that's like vegan and whatever. Really high in protein, not bad for you. I've looked into what they put into it. It's not real bad and really cheap right now. It's really cheap right now. It's not bug burgers like that moist, nasty stuff that you were showing us. Anyways, Augustin Farms, you can get that on Amazon, blah, blah, blah. Not real expensive, but it's like it's a bean burger. It's a vegan burger, or you can make it for tacos or something else. Okay, so just saying.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm sorry we got cut off earlier. Hey, we got cut off earlier real quick. Don't put that dehydrated rice into vac bags.
Oh, we got that part. Bags. Yeah, we got that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I tried to look back and whatever. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Grow.
Yep, grow some food.
Yeah, grow some food. And like me, if you live in the north, get one of them aerial gardens or something that you can start seeds in and stuff in your house so that you can get it out in time to actually harvest stuff. Because you know what? Everything that you make yourself, and even the stuff that you can get from, I get from runnings and whatever that's coming from another garden center, it tastes so much better than the shit that you get from the grocery store. It does.
It's better for you, and you care more about yourself than they care about you. So yeah, it's actually
they're poisoning our food. They're poisoning our food, and you know what? We need to stop it. We just need to grow with what we can. Anyways, I love you. I know your show's almost over.
Thanks for calling. I'm glad everything's okay.
Yeah, everything's better. Not okay, but better.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys.
All right. Good night. Thanks for calling.
Good night. Bye.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Everybody's saying, Salty Man James says, come on, Laura, say Lovecrafty and Beaver. How about, I was going to say maybe beaver, otter, and platypus mixed. Something like that. Okay. Let's see. I wanted to leave you with one last thing. This'll make you think. I wanted to leave you with one last thing. I wanted to make you think and give you a little bit of hope. There are still some people out there that want to be truly united.
People. And they're white people. Watch this video in its entirety. I have something to say. I have a chart. And what this chart does is breaks down and shows you the different skin tones of brown. Now, I'm going to need for y'all to hold on to your seats and really look at this and study it with your mind, because this is going to be groundbreaking. After this video is done, duet, stitch, and show it to everybody, because today is the day we end black and white. There is no person alive that are any of these colors. These are
I've never seen a gray person.
Brown. These colors are the color of every human being that walks the earth. If you can find the color of your skin on these shades of brown, you are not black and you are not white. I'm sick of falling for the same social construct, and I'm sick of it going from generation to generation. Today it stops. We will no longer refer to anyone as black or white. Puerto Ricans, you're brown. Asians, Afro-Asiatics, you're brown. What we call white people, you're brown. Black people, you're dark brown. And now it's us, the human brown race, versus the elites who want to be called white. We are now all brothers and sisters. We now begin to strive for unconditional love, unity, and equality amongst ourselves. A socialist democracy is what's needed to eradicate this nonsense called capitalism, communism, any of that mess. It's time to come together.
I'm not sure about the last part. He may not have gotten that particular definition right, but he definitely doesn't want communism. The social, like I say, he's still a little young, and the socialism sounds good, and they do predict and they do profess that we're all one and we're all equal, but that it's not usually what happens. So I don't particularly agree with him on the very last part, but he's not wrong. And I thought that was a beautiful sentiment when I came across it. Okay. All right, I got to show you one more thing that I thought was really funny. They kind of switched it around on us. You know how women don't really appreciate appliances for birthdays and Christmas presents. Well, I think the guys would actually appreciate these gifts.
Wowee! Honey, how do you keep the house so clean?
A lady never tells.
A woman's work is done better with GE household appliances.
Times change, and these days, women are the primary breadwinners in 50% of American homes. And that means housework is a man's job. So give them the tools to get the job done right with GE.
Clean it up, man!
Big Boy home appliances. Like the Big Boy dishwasher, featuring a 70-pound steel door.
I'd like to see a woman do that.
And hey, she may have climbed the corporate ladder, but she'll need an actual ladder to use the Big Boy washing machine, because that sucker is 6 feet tall. Dirty floors don't stand a chance against the Big Boy Ride-On Vacuum Cleaner. That's 240 horsepower of pure chore torque. With a detachable spot remover that absolutely annihilates stains. All GE Big Boy appliances have an Energy Star rating of F- because they run on gas. So man up this holiday season and ask your wife to buy you GE Big Boy household appliances.
Wow, how'd you get it so clean in here?
Oh, sorry, babe. That guy never tells.
GE Big Boy appliances.
That was pretty funny. Does anybody, like I say, I bet the guys wouldn't mind that. Women don't like getting appliances for gifts, but the guys don't seem to mind. And since a lot of them are stay-at-home dads now, they might need these things. I thought it was hilarious, and I thought you guys would love it. All right, that's about it for me right now. Don't forget to support all the folks on Rougaroo's interactive schedule, and be sure to head on over to the Drunken Rocky Show right after I sign off. Let me know if there's anything you guys want me to cover. You see my email down there below me. You can send me anything, even if it's a request or even if you got questions or whatever like that. I'm an open book. There are some things that I won't talk about, but it doesn't have anything to do with... I'm still a private person, but I don't really have that much to hide. I just like to be left alone, that's all. Please make sure it's not something that it's going to get me kicked off of YouTube, but whatever. You know me, I don't really care about that. I'm going to stay on there and bug the shit out of them until they won't let me anymore. All right, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the shares, all of the support, everybody for being here and everything like that. Don't forget to send me your clips and commercials so that I can incorporate you into my show and support you as well. My numbers keep growing every week when I do this. It's one of the reasons why I'm thinking about doing just nothing but live shows when I come up with something. I've got, like I say, I got a few ideas, and I do love making videos, but they just take so freaking long. Especially the kind that I like to make. But I will continue to do some of those as well, but I might actually bring some of that stuff and just do it on the shows myself. And what would be another good day for me to do this? I really and truly right now, the only other day that I would have available would be Wednesday. Unless things change. Then I might be able to have a Monday or a Tuesday. But, alright. God bless you. God bless America. I wish you all peace, love, health, and music. And until next time, AMF.